In America, everyone counts, and the 2020 census is how that great promise is kept. Respond today online, by phone, or by mail, and help inform hundreds of billions in funding for education, health programs, and more. Shape your future. Start at 2020census.gov. Joining us right now live is Ben Crump. Ben, glad to have you on the show. I know it's been quite a long day. You've done a lot of these cases. This is highly unusual to negotiate a financial settlement as well as police reforms.
It is quite significant, Roland Martin, and you know, you and I have been over the decade fighting these cases. It is highly unusual for them to settle with such a significant monetary settlement and also concede to our demands for reform, as Breonna Taylor's mother insisted, because that was her real conviction. She wanted to make sure that this helped prevent future Breonna Taylor. So it was significant in so many ways today, Roland Martin.
One of the things I talked with Tamika about, and trust me, I've had to deal with this here, the people who say, Ben Crump keeps losing these cases. You don't prosecute police officers. You represent the families, district attorneys, state attorney generals. Their job is to prosecute police officers. And so people think, oh my goodness, here's another cop who got off. That's not your job as a representative for the family.
Yeah, Roland, you know, there are going to be negative people who I think intentionally want to say stuff out of jealousy. It's the most basic high school civics lesson ever. The only people who can take your liberty, the only people who can put you in jail is the elected prosecutors. Daniel Cameron, the young African-American Republican AG, the first black Kentucky Attorney General, it is up to him whether to charge the officers or not. The only thing Lanita Bacon and I can do is sue for a civil wrongful death, which we do, Roland, and we always win. In every one of these cases, we've got a money or in a settlement or a verdict for the family, and then try to put pressure in the court of public opinion, calling on my heroes like you to say, Roland, please cover this case of this black person so they don't sweep it under the rug. And it's ultimately up to the prosecutor to do it.
Well, absolutely. Look, I know you're busy. I just wanted to get you on real quick, but the fight for justice for Breonna Taylor continues, and so we appreciate that. Give our best to her family as well.
I will, Roland. Roland, I can never say thank you enough, because when others don't cover our stories, you always cover our stories, brother. So this day is about you, too. It's a victory for all us, especially black women.
Ben Crump, we surely appreciate it, man. Thank you so very much. I want to quickly go to Melik as well as Kelly. And again, the reality, Kelly, is that to change this system, it's not going to be one law and it goes all across the country. It's literally going to be a city-by-city, state-by-state deal, because that's how law enforcement is set up.
That's exactly right. My spirit right now is conflicted. On the one hand, like everybody is saying, I am elated that there was a settlement, and that at least on the civil side, Kentucky or whomever was the defendant in this case was held liable. So on the civil side, they were found guilty. So that makes sense.
Well, no, let's be clear. They were not found guilty. That's actually a legal distinction. They simply...
I know. What I'm saying is, for those who don't understand what liability means.
Well, no. Found guilty on the civil side if there was an actual suit and the jury found them guilty. So that's all I'm simply stating.
So there is no. So it was just a straight settlement.
No. It's a settlement, which means that there's no admission of guilt on the part of the city.
Understood. So even then, the fact that there was a settlement at all, that is great news. But on the other hand, it doesn't mean that they were found guilty. So that even emphasizes my point on the criminal side, the fact that we still need to find the state accountable for the murder of Breonna Taylor. And the only reason I'm conflicted is because a settlement cannot be used in criminal court as evidence of admission of guilt. So it's almost like you're starting from scratch on the criminal side in terms of finding these people guilty.
Got it.
And then on the added layer being that the AG, Cameron, is just frankly just not doing his job, because clearly there was a crime here, whether it was a settlement or not. There was a crime here, and it's clear that she was found dead by way of homicide, and he's just not doing his job, and at the very least arresting the officers who murdered her, let alone convicting them. So like the criminal side is just it's going to be another journey.
Got it.
Right.
Well,
and I'm
that's
just ready for that to happen.
Right. And in all these cases, Melika, real quick, your comment before I go to my next guest.
Yeah, I think I think it's great that they actually got the settlement. As Tamika said, there are a lot of reforms that were in part of this settlement that are really good. That the things that she mentioned, and there were other things that they were dealing with, whether or not it was, officers now having to do community service, making sure that the officers live within the census tract, access to personnel records. Those are some reforms that are good. There are a couple of things that, for instance, and there were, I think Attorney Crump mentioned that this was the largest case. I don't think this was the largest case.
No, the largest case, Louisville.
Yeah, well, Tamika said, he actually said it wasn't just Louisville. Tamika reiterated that they thought that this was the largest case in the country, and it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't. The one in Baltimore was larger.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is one of the things. But I just wanted to add, in addition to all of those reforms, this is also why it's important for us, not just to get online and it shouldn't be a Democrat or Republican thing. There were things in the GOP bill, specifically the Breonna Taylor Act. There was Rand Paul introduced that, the Breonna Taylor Act, which is different from what the Democrats introduced, in that Rand Paul wanted to ban no-knock warrants, not just at the federal level. He wanted to ban them all across the board. On the Democratic side, what they wanted to do is just ban it for drug cases. This is one of the things that we actually should talk to members on both sides of the aisle about, because at the end of the day, our color has no political preference. And so I think we should just continue to push. Yes, it's now in the hands of Daniel Cameron. There were a couple of weeks ago when he said he finally got the ballistic reports back from the FBI. So we're expecting him to make some type of announcement on the case. But I do disagree that he hasn't done anything. He actually has done something, and he just got the information back from the FBI just a few weeks ago.
Folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. Seek.com is a black-owned company founded by Mary Spio. They have these amazing products. They have their virtual reality headset right here. Allows for you to take your cell phone, pop it right into here. You can watch their virtual reality content on their site, Seek.com. You can also, of course, watch other 360-degree video, and it puts you right there in the same space. So that's this particular headset. They also have their 360-degree 4D headphones, folks, which are great for you to be able to do gaming. You can also, of course, use this for music, for videos as well. It's a really solid solid deal here. I love these headphones. Again, when I'm able to, when I'm walking and working out and doing things along those lines. And so you want to check this out. Again, these headphones right here, which are pretty cool. Go to Seek.com, CEEK.com. Use the promo code RMVIP2020, RMVIP2020. And then you'll get a discount on one or both of these products. And so we certainly appreciate Seek.com being a partner with Roland Martin Unfiltered.